Oh, welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve. And as we do it every time this week, we're going to talk about the round of NRL that's just been played. Gentlemen, how are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Tom, a wish of yours came true this week. Last week you said you wanted the Storm to win.
I think I cursed my team last week.
Well, you know what? Usually the first thing that comes out of your mouth is what you really want to say, and the other stuff is just
That's
all...
what you think.
That's true. Why are you wearing a hat?
Well, no, because I didn't bother changing my shirt. So
You didn't wash your hair this week, so you thought you better wear a hat?
if that works for you, then
Works for me.
I just wear it because I don't have hair.
Yes.
You've got some to wash. You should take that.
I didn't say I didn't wash it. I'm saying he can have that if that's what he thinks happened.
Oh, he's in one of those moods today, isn't he?
Right.
Yeah, he is.
Yes, his Roosters are gone.
Yeah.
We've been gone for
Yeah, it's all right. We're now over it.
We've got over it. It's got... Yeah, okay. So let's go and have a talk. So we're going to talk about a couple of things tonight. We're going to talk about semi-finals that have just been played. We're going to talk about Dally M's coming up this week.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about some of the girls, women's semi-finals and the New South Wales Rugby League Grand Final, which was a good game, I've got to say.
Yep.
And then we're going to talk about the Grand Final. So an action-packed show, let me tell you.
Cool. I'm excited.
What was your highlight for this week since you're so excited?
Oh, football-wise.
Well, no, it can be anything. You want to go into something personal?
I was going to say, football-wise, my prediction that the Roosters would lose to Melbourne by a greater margin than they beat Manly came true. I'm happy about that.
But you didn't tip them in the footy tipping.
I forgot to put my tips in.
It's got to find an angle, isn't it?
I cannot believe I forgot to put my tips in.
No, neither can I.
Oh,
Giving you the administrator, neither can I.
I could change that one, but it's all the other comps I can't change.
Tom, your highlight for the week?
Oh, look, after we bowed out, the girls, the Roosters girls went on and got in the Grand Final, which is great news, so that's something to cheer for.
Okay. All right. So let's start by talking about at Amy Park, Melbourne Storm 48, Roosters 18. I want to start with the first tackle of the game. And I don't think it's... I mean, we all know now that Nelson has been suspended for 5 games because Melbourne fought it. It was not a grade 3. I don't believe it was a grade 3.
It wasn't even a grade 1.
I could live with a grade 1 because...
He hit him in the head, but I don't
You're
think it was
the one
anything
who's
like
always
a grade
saying, he hit him in the head, it's going to be this, it's going to...
Yeah, but because that's the way the game's played.
I
But
get
like, but as I said to someone who was saying, "Oh, well, just explain it to me then." So, well, in the week before, a much smaller man ran into Warrior Hargraves and got knocked out.
Yep.
No penalty, no anything.
Yep.
And the way I saw it is he ran into his elbow.
Yes.
All right. And you know what? I didn't like it. That's the way the game goes.
Yep.
This week we have Lindsay Collins, surprisingly a smaller man,
then yes, okay.
running into somebody's chest.
Yep.
And the player who he ran into got suspended. That doesn't. In my mind, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it was different contact. I mean,
well, yeah, but he still hit him. Nelson still hit. The first contact was Lindsay Collins' head into his shoulder, into his shoulder
and
chest,
went up to his head.
and Nelson was wrapping his arm. It was a tackle.
Well, not only that, the point was it wasn't a pointed shoulder. Usually, if it's pointed shoulder,
Yeah.
Well, the other thing
I
is,
think
it couldn't have been that because he had another tackler already in the tackle.
in front of him.
And so basically his hand hit the other player and then rolled up towards his head. So
Like, there
was no way it was a category 3.
So many
And
mitigating
And I also think
circumstances.
it's quite cruel given that everybody knew that the grand final was coming, and I would have thought give him a hefty fine and allow him to play would have been a fair result.
No,
I disagree with that.
I think if you're suspended, you're suspended for the
Yeah.
grand final. But this should not have been a suspension.
No.
I think that's what most people seem to be saying.
And so what we're saying now, and the flip side of that is that now you can have a Category 4 offence on the field, and it's just a penalty.
Category 3.
Well, Category 3 offence on the field, and that's just a penalty.
It's Simbin.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense either, though.
So why wasn't he sent off?
Yeah,
Category
if
3?
it was that bad.
It was that bad. That's right.
So somebody's made a tremendous error there. Yeah. And
So Sally, we're on your side.
I cannot believe I'm saying this. I feel sorry for Melbourne.
You can't. No, you don't have to feel sorry for Melbourne. You feel sorry for Nelson.
For Nelson.
You feel sorry for Nelson.
Yeah, actually, I did just on that. I did hear an interesting little comment that was, who are you going to be supporting this weekend? The team that everybody used to hate, or the team that everybody hates now?
It's interesting they have all these free Nelsons, which is like a throwback to free Mandela. Free Nelson Mandela.
Look, I'm sorry. It was a wrong decision.
So what do you think he should have got?
I would think he should have got a fine. I think it's a category 1. I'm okay with the penalty. I'm even okay with the sin bin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was. He did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
He stood there. He held his ground.
Yeah, I don't even think it was a sin bin.
And Steve Roach actually said something interesting the week. He said, "We promote and we really want these big guys to come together.
Yep.
And when they do, in an accidental contact, we wipe them out of the game. So do we want it or not? Do we want the big hits or do we not want the big hits? Because some are going to be accidental, some are getting hit.
What we don't want is we don't want shoulder charges.
No, we don't want pointed shoulders.
And we don't want illegal play.
It's swinging arms.
And that was neither. So I wow.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. Anyway, he's done. He can't play. So let's move on to the game.
Yep.
I've got to say, Melbourne were outstanding.
Oh, they were. Yep. There's no way we were ever beating Melbourne the way they played.
No.
I mean, they I've noticed that recently with Penrith and with Melbourne, their post-contact meters have been incredible against their opposition. And you just get a roll on, and once you get a roll on, and you've got Pappenhausen, who has been good,
bit quiet,
but he was outstanding in the first half.
Yeah.
You've got Grant, who he doesn't go under the radar, but he's a terrific player and he had a great game. But Hughes is probably Dally M winner this year, and then you have Munster, who basically has been playing a second fiddle role.
Yeah.
And the last 10 minutes he puts on 2 tries. Oh, I'll have a go. Puts on 2 tries. Look, I thought they were. It was the same playing both teams for the Roosters. They just weren't in the fight, unfortunately. And look, and there's been a lot of discussion about this, and I think that they're going to have to be a lot of soul searching over the season, because not only have they lost a lot of players, but they need to look at what they're doing wrong in order not to be able to beat these 2 teams. So.
Well, not just the Roosters. There's a lot. No other team is within cooey of this.
But I'm talking about my team because it has the worst record of any team.
Yeah.
So something's not right. Some fans have been calling for Trent's head.
Oh, really?
A lot of them.
I'll tell you what, there's 100 other clubs who'd be happy to put their hand up for it.
Yeah. But I think at the very least, I think he needs to look very seriously at both his coaching staff and the style of play that they're doing, because something isn't working, and they're going to have to deal with all these players gone.
They've got 7 players leaving next year,
and 2 major players won't be available till at least May.
Yes.
So they're up against it next year. There's no doubt about that. Anyway, look, Melbourne were superb, and they were scary good, and I think it's going to be a titanic game on the weekend.
So one instant I want to bring up, there is the intercept try, where Pappenhausen was running down, and ironically enough, he was almost caught. Now, I thought Pappenhausen was...
Do you mean when Coates caught the ball on the line?
Yes, caught the ball on the line.
It wasn't an intercept try. It was just the end of the field.
No. There was a try that was intercepted. The ball was intercepted. They ran down, passed it to Pappenhausen. Pappenhausen then passed it out to
Jack Howarth. No, that was the one where he caught
it wasn't an intercept
on the line.
Okay, well, it wasn't an intercept, but he got it. Yeah. It was a length of the field try, and I couldn't get over how slow Pappenhausen was, because he was chased down.
And that was another instance of the Roosters just letting their guard down momentarily, and that's all you need, And the good teams won't do that.
I don't know. He still looks fast.
Yeah, but I was surprised he wasn't as... I'm worried he's a bit injured.
The thing with Pappenhausen is that if you notice that even then, he's only got 1 speed. And it's fast.
That's right.
And he stepped when he got the ball too.
He's fast, yeah.
Right
So he hits the line as hard as he's going to run.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, geez, I wish my forwards would do that.
Yeah, no, they're a scary good team, and again, all the commentary has been about the fact that Craig Bellamy's recipe for success is build yourself a very, very strong spine, even if you've got to spend most of your money on it, and then grow your players around them, and that has been successful for such a long time.
Which is probably the same thing that Penrith do as well.
Yeah.
And which is why both of those teams tend to lose players, 2 or 3 players every year.
Yeah.
And they go off and tend to disappear somewhere.
And they're keeping their spine
And they keep
up
their
until
spine.
this year.
Yeah.
It seems that a few more teams need to learn these lessons.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Very much so. So
At the end of the game, I wasn't surprised. I mean, I was disappointed. I had hopes.
I was surprised with such a big score.
Look, I think it got away at the end. I think basically, Munster's 2 tries were soft. So look, I think 36-18 would have been a reasonable estimation of the game. A solid win. I think the last 2 tries. A lot of times that happens. Heads go down and you get tired and they score extra points in the end. But I was disappointed, but I wasn't surprised.
All right, let's go on and talk about the other game, which was Penrith Panthers 26, Cronulla 6. I was surprised Cronulla hung in this as long
6-10, I think, at half time.
Yeah.
I was surprised at how well Cronulla played.
I
really was. Genuinely.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Genuinely, I thought Cronulla played really, really well.
Yep.
They went to the Panthers' edges, and they kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and they stayed in the game. Their enthusiasm was there, their commitment was there. It was a very solid game by the Sharks. And
it looks like it was about from the 62nd minute that things started to go awry. For 50 odd minutes they stayed in the contest, and I actually rated them a chance halfway through that game.
And I know you're not particularly a Penrith fan, but that's what Penrith do. And that's why they hang in games, and then they just go, now the other position looks a little bit slower, we'll hit the gears.
Yeah.
And they just go bang, 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 and they just took it away from them.
Well, I've said that about Melbourne a couple of times. Is that I've noticed that when Melbourne, if they get a very, if they don't make a lot of yardage in their set and they kick it and the team gets the ball at the 40-metre line.
Yep.
To me, it looks like you noticeably see a much sterner defensive line. It's almost like they've practiced for this. If we don't get a good kick in, we've got to work extra hard in this set because we've got to undo the fact that we got outplayed in that set, and they played set by set. And each set has its own recipe of how to play, and I think Penrith are probably very similar. Look, and Cleary had another brilliant game.
Oh yeah,
crossfield kick, just brilliant.
Should we talk about the disallowed try?
Remind me which one that was.
It was pulled back because of interference.
Oh yes,
the bunker said it was outside shoulder, but it was blatantly inside shoulder.
Absolutely, it was. Yes, I remember that. Yep. Yeah,
and
Cleary made sure that Ivan Cleary made sure that they know.
Talakai went in to tackle that player.
Yeah.
He wasn't even trying to move sideways.
No.
He went straight into him. I don't know how they keep getting these things wrong. I really don't. And I was glad.
I would be very surprised if Chris Butler is in the bucket.
Well, can I just say, Annesley's actually come out and said, "Oh yeah, we got that one wrong." Which I think is one of 3 decisions all year where he said, "Oh, we've got it wrong." Even though there's about 30 a weekend.
Do we know who's reffing the game?
Klein.
Yeah, Klein.
How does he get away with it over and over?
Because he's the best of these 2 referees.
Well,
I thought Adkins was okay.
When it was announced, I was on Facebook and I saw the messages coming through, and I thought this was interesting. Everyone's bagging Klein for being selected.
Yep.
But here's some of the comments. So congratulations on the Panthers winning the 2024 Premiership. Wait for it. Melbourne 14th player. Storm are now 9 out of 9 on refereeing. Next one says Penrith will be set then. Okay, that's a bit strange.
Yeah.
Worst ref in the rest gets the jobs at NRL. Congratulations on Penrith on their 4th straight Premiership. So everybody thinks Klein's on the other team's side.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's just something about the way he refs. And Adam G missed the finals, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, on a technicality of being just over in the penalties in the 60, and he was only a smidgen over, and yet he was the best ref last grand final.
So I've just pulled up Ash Klein's record, just so you know, against these teams.
Yeah.
So Melbourne have a 63.08 win rate with Klein. Mm-hmm. Penrith 43.75. Wow. So let me just say, I don't know.
Look, I would be surprised as any ref who would show bias towards one team or the other.
It's just the way he reads certain games. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. It just and I'm really sorry for Adam G. As I said, I just think that he deserved to be in the finals, and I reckon he probably would have ref the grand final again. I dare say.
I want to ask a question. Penrith and Cronulla, were Penrith not really that good, or were Cronulla exceptional? Because, like we said, we were surprised how close they hung in.
It's interesting, and I know that there's going to be people out there who hate this, but Melbourne are renowned for doing the dirty work off the ball and really niggling. Yeah. I think the Sharks niggled the living daylights out of Penrith, and I think it showed for a while. In what sense?
What did you see?
It was just they were just holding down that little bit longer. There was a bit of push and shove in the tackles. It was just a good strategy to put Penrith off their game.
Yep.
But like I said, once that energy was gone, Penrith just clicked again. So I don't know. I think the Sharks took a leaf out of Melbourne's playbook, and they didn't sustain it for the 80 minutes. Because there was at one point there when Nico missed that goal, it could have been 10. Was it 10-6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that could have been a different game. So I don't know. I really don't know.
If you take Nathan out of that game, were the Sharks more of a chance?
Oh, absolutely.
I think so, but
and that says something too. Is that while Penrith are an incredible team, they can sometimes rely on Nathan a lot to pull them out of the fire. Like last year, I mean,
but every
last grand final.
Take Walker out of the Roosters.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, if he gets injured, if his shoulder folds. Will that be enough for Melbourne to get the ascendancy if they haven't already got it next on Sunday?
I don't know.
That'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting, but I don't know that he'll even come off.
So
I think they'll try and do a Cronk.
Schneider's on the bench at the moment, so I don't know. I reckon they're prepared for Melbourne to attack him.
But he won't come off easy.
No.
Yeah, but we all saw earlier in the year when Schneider came into play, Luai just went nuts.
Yeah. And he's got a point to prove.
So, too, I've got a question for you, Steve.
Okay.
So, because Steve and I argue about these things. So late in the game, 60th minute or so.
Yeah.
Penrith are running the ball down to the Cronulla line.
Yes.
Luai takes the ball, passes it back on the inside, and gets absolutely flattened by Talakai.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that tackle, Steve? If you can call it a tackle.
That one I thought was late. Now normally I don't think
you and I argue about playmakers running to the line.
But that one I thought was late. When the ball is just out of the hands of the playmaker.
Yeah, he's passing it's half a metre away.
Late.
Yeah.
But it was almost at the next player.
It was at the next player who was ready to pass it. And Luai got creamed. He got smashed in the back. And my only
Talakai that hit him, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I don't understand. I don't understand why Talakai wasn't binned.
No, neither do I.
To be perfectly honest, I don't think Nelson should have been binned. But I think that was a binning.
There was actually one earlier.
You can't hit a bloke off the ball.
No, and there was actually one earlier that was penalised that I thought, hang on, that's not late.
I don't. Yeah. I was in the Melbourne Roosters game.
It might have been.
Melbourne Roosters game, yeah.
We're getting a little bit funny with this, but that one, that would have been a bin to me. That was late.
Yeah. I don't understand how a player's supposed to put pressure on the kicker because, if you touch the kicker, then, you're in trouble and it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Where the ball lands. But that was... he hit him so late.
Yeah.
So who were the most impressive between on the weekend between Melbourne and Penrith?
Melbourne. 100%.
I think it's a flip of a coin.
No.
Yeah. Look,
Well,
I think the thing in Penrith's failure is they needed a game like that.
Okay, but you asked that question, so look at their opposition. The Roosters are a better opposition than what the Sharks are.
Oh, hang on, that's my phone.
That's
Let
your
me
phone.
just chuck that on silent.
And who is that's calling?
That will be my wife.
And you've
Sorry.
got a dog sound for your wife.
I have dog sound for everyone. I know how to change it.
So he's not ignoring you. It's just that he's busy right now.
Yeah,
Ignore it.
I did.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the Roosters are a much tougher opposition than what the Sharks are, which is why I think Melbourne were more impressive. And they scored 48 points against them.
Ordinarily, I would say yes, but I think that, I just think the Sharks were really good.
Right.
The Sharks showed more mongrel than the Roosters, there's no doubt about that.
Right.
But I actually think that the Panthers will be better off for that game because they didn't get it easy. I think the Storm generally got it easy against us. And well, in the sense that they were allowed to play the way they wanted to play.
Yep.
We didn't restrict them. The Sharks got in their face, the Panthers' face. They made them work for it.
Yeah.
And I think that will bode well for the Panthers.
Yep.
In next Sunday.
Yeah, like I said, I think the Sharks played very Melbourne-like for at least the first 60.
All right, Tom, you are a resident NRLW expert. Please talk about the two games that were played over the weekend.
Yep. So,
Our resident expert.
well, I'm the only one who wants to talk about it. So we had two semi-finals. The Broncos who finished first on the ladder played the fourth place Sharks. And to everybody's surprise who watches these games, the Broncos, who are a very big attacking team, have been putting on big scores against other teams, went down 14 to duck egg, which was a big surprise. The Sharks, it's interesting the way that they got to the finals is the Broncos lost the first two games and then won their last 7 because there are 9 games in the season. The Sharks won their first 6 and then went down to the Roosters 40-0 and then lost the second 2 games, one of them against the bottom place Tigers, and I can't remember who the other team was. So on form, you'd think the Broncos would have run away with this. But in fact, the Sharks were incredible in defence and did enough in attack to win that game. I thought they were really impressive. The other semi-final was between the Roosters, who finished second, got the home semi-final against the back-to-back premiers, the Newcastle Knights. And they started poorly, and they've actually been on an upward trend for the last few games as well. So I was really nervous about this game. But the Roosters actually dominated the whole game. In fact, they let in, I think, 1 or 2 late tries, which was disappointing. But were dominant throughout the whole game. Their attack was on. And the difference for me in this team was we lost Corbin Baxter, the fullback, the beginning of the season with an ACL. We lost Jess Surgis, in the top 3 centres in the world, with an MCL in round 3, and we lost Taryn Aiken, our half, with an AC joint about 2 weeks ago, I think, and also then last week, Isabel Kelly went down with a dislocated elbow. So I thought we were in all sorts, but they all came back this week, and everything clicked. The whole team performed well, and their defence was really solid, and so they won 25-16. And so it sets us up for a very interesting grand final against the Roosters, the Sharks. Interestingly, the 2 teams who missed out in the NRL semis are the teams that are playing in the NRLW Grand Final. I'm really looking forward to this. It should be a fantastic game.
Excellent, thank you. You want to have any input to that?
He doesn't watch it.
Okay.
So will you watch it if Manly ever has a women's team? No. Okay.
He will. He will.
I'm a misogynistic pig.
Well, that aside.
Okay. Well, on that note, I'm going to talk. I'm an old fart. Okay?
Yeah.
And I love my football history. So I watched the Newtown Bears Grand Final the other day.
Oh yeah, I was travelling. I couldn't.
It was good. I really enjoyed it. But I want to, and this is why one of the reasons I loved it. I want to read some names out to you.
Oof.
Garlick, Rodwell, Wilson, Burns, Fernley, Healy, Hosking,
Wow.
Hughes, and there was one more, Roach. Now,
These are all sons of, are they?
no, they're not.
Oh,
no,
okay.
and that, but
Some of them are.
But yeah, some of them are.
Yeah.
But when you hear names like that, you think back to,
Oh, yeah.
you know, was it
The 80s and
you know,
70s.
the 80s? I mean, Terry Fernley, and you think about, you know, some of the players, and
Steve
it was
Roach.
really good.
Yeah.
And it was really good to listen to those names being played while two very historic teams were playing out the New South Wales Grand Final. Now, the Newtown Jets won 28-22, and the Bears, Newtown would score, the Bears would score, Newtown scored, the Bears would score. And it was really only at the end that Newtown ran away with it and were able to stay on top. But it was a good, fun game. Geez, they played well. It was a hard game. Faolongo from Melbourne was actually the fullback for the North Sydney Bears.
Yeah, Bears the feeder club.
Yeah. And it was good to watch. It really was. So Melbourne, North Sydney are the feeder club to Melbourne, and Newtown are the feeder club
Sharks.
to Sharks. So it was interesting.
And I think
Good game.
Flegg, Dogs won again in
Dogs
Flegg,
won
didn't
the flag
they? The second back to
against
back.
Sharks. I think they played.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we
So-
went to the games last year, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yeah. Because the Bunnies are in the grand final.
That's right.
But
They were
nobody
nowhere
cares
near
about
it
that.
this year. Well, I did.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, no, that was good. But as the game was going on, I was listening to those names. I thought, oh, geez, that brings me. That was Wilson and played for Newtown, and that was such and such. And yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed it. I love history. I just love the history of the game.
He's old.
I'm an old fart, like I say.
I understand.
And
That's
proud.
why we sit over here, because he's
That's right.
old and...
And yes, that's right. Oh, okay. We are going
Dally
to talk
M's.
Dally M's. Let's talk about the Dally M's. And Brian, you sent us something through the week about the
Nominees.
nominees. So let's have
Yeah,
a look
I
at
was
those.
surprised by some of them.
So fullback,
Nominees.
Edwards, Hammer, Tedesco. Who's your pick, Steve? Because you said, oh, it can't be Teddy. Teddy won't, but it will be.
Wait, where's Latrell?
Not there.
This is not a comedy show, Steve. Okay? Did you post that on our Facebook?
Tedesco.
It has to be Tedesco.
It has to be Tedesco. No, he posted on our radio show chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Right.
So it has to be Tedesco, and Tom won't argue with that because
No.
it's Tom.
Yeah.
Well, he's had a sensational season. And I think
You
probably
keep
in the
saying
end,
that,
in the
yeah.
end, more consistent than Edwards.
I have to wonder why Hammerzo is there.
Yeah, interesting because he played a lot of games in the centres as well
Yeah, and
towards the end of the
And
season.
unfortunately,
And I-
Tom didn't play enough games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would have actually thought, it's lost his name, Sharks fullback.
Will
Kennedy.
Well, Kennedy,
He
I
had that-
he had a
I'm
reasonably
not sure
good
that he
year.
had that great
I rate Kennedy. I really
So
do.
do I.
But I don't know that he had that great a season.
Well, I think he had a better one.
Well,
than
can
Hammerzo.
I just say, if
Maybe.
I was going to build a team like tomorrow, Kennedy would be my pick. Well, maybe not above Edwards, but above the other two.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't pick him above Teddy.
Well,
but
yeah, no, he's going to be there for the next 10
he'd
years.
be in your top 5, wouldn't he?
He'd be there for the next 10
Even
years.
Keanu Kinney had a great season.
Yeah.
Too, you know.
Yeah, so I'm surprised. Anyway, let's move on. Winger. Brian, you going to lead this?
Winger, Khan Pereira, Carraz, Lomax, Toho, and Warbrick. I actually think this is a really, really
We've
hard
got to pick 2.
two.
Warbrick and Carraz.
I had a Lomax.
I picked Lomax and Khan Pereira.
Yeah.
Oh, see, and I've gone Lomax and Toho. I'm in love with Toho. he's just brilliant.
He's
Like,
great, isn't he?
You got a bro crush over you.
oh, I do. He's just a seriously good guy every time he's interviewed.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
But I'll tell you what, Warbrick wouldn't be far behind them, and it wouldn't surprise me. Centres nominated are Crichton, Farnsworth, Val Holmes, Jesse Ramian, and Katoni Staggs.
I went
Farnsworth and Crichton.
I went Stephen Crichton and Jesse Ramian. I thought he's had a sensational year.
Well, interesting. I've gone Crichton and Holmes. I think Holmes has been... Without him, I don't think the Cows would have been anywhere near where they were. 5'8", Burton, Dearden, Luai. I think this is a hard pick as well.
Yeah, I've gone Luai.
I think I've gone Luai.
Yeah, I'm probably...
He had to carry the team for a lot of the year, I think.
Yeah, and he was very good when Cleary was... Yeah, okay, you convinced me. Luai it is. Otherwise, it was going to be Dearden, but I wasn't sure whether Dearden had played well enough. Halfback, we've got our Manly's only nominee, Cherry Evans.
At least you got a nominee.
Yeah, that's true. Jerome Hughes and Ben Hunt, and we all know that it's going to be Jerome Ho.
But can we also bring up the fact that how does Ben Hunt get in front
I
of
was going
Sam
to ask
Walker?
that same question. I don't know.
How does he get in front of Sam Walker? Honestly.
Yeah.
Because there's only 2 players at the Dragons, and so when they play reasonable, he gets points. Dally M's is a flawed system.
That's true. Yeah, it
flawed
is.
system.
It's very true.
So we're all going Jerome
Oh,
Hughes.
Hughes is going to blitz it.
Hooker. This is going to be a blitz as well. We've got Blake Brayley, Harry Grant, Reece Robson.
I would love to have given it to Blake Brayley. I thought he's had a great season, but it's Grant.
It is Grant.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but this is all about who you think, not who you think will win.
I think Grant. Grant will win.
The only thing against that is that Grant is in the team of superstars, and they will steal votes from him.
Yeah, but the way that Melbourne have been going, it's either been Hughes or Grant.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
they've been getting points every week.
But this is not based on voting for a hooker. This is based on points. This is
so he's getting
points.
So every game Melbourne's played, Grant's got either three or 2 points.
Yeah.
So
Which
I'd
is
say,
why it's only got Warbrick as the other one. So
is why I think
they
might
steal
not.
votes from each other.
So who are you going, Steve?
Hughes.
Right.
Sorry.
So you all argued with
Grant.
me. So you all argued
Grant.
with me. Then I went Grant. Props. We've got Lindsay Collins, which I thought was an interesting choice.
Yeah, I think so too.
Fisher Harris, Fanoa Blake, Moses Leota, and Joey Tappaney.
I didn't know who to pick in this one because I haven't watched many Warriors games, but I went for Fish.
See, I've gone Tappaney and Blake. Fanoa
Really?
Blake. Yeah.
So you had to pick 2, did you?
Yeah.
I didn't pick 2.
I've gone Blake and Fisher Harris.
Well, then I'd go
Okay.
Blake and Fisher Harris too. I think. Yeah, I thought Lindsay's had actually a pretty poor season.
See, well, again,
The hyphenated props.
the hyphenated props. See, but the problem with Fish is that you've got Dylan Edwards, Jerome Luai, Taha. They're all in the team.
Yeah.
Second row, I think there's one standout, and that's Angus Crichton.
Yep.
And then the other choices are Katoa, Kikau, Sewer, and Hudson Young.
All terrific choices, but I think you can't go past Angus Crichton.
Yeah.
And Young. He would be my
Well,
other.
really, I reckon Kikau. Kikau's been really good for the Dogs.
I think Kickout gets hot and cold. I think Young hangs in there the whole game.
Okay, interesting. I'll go Kikau and Crichton. And lock.
This is a lock.
This is a lock. Pack Carrigan, Reuben Cotter, or Isaiah Yo.
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 Yeah, is there any question?
Well, I think the harder choice is like I'm pretty sure we can all agree probably Jerome Uwise. Jerome Uwise. Somewhere else. Hughes is going to be Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Grant or Crichton will probably Grant Crichton or Yeo captain.
Yeah,
Obviously,
I think I reckon Crichton will
you've
get
got
it simply
next
because he's
one
just
is the
come.
captains.
well,
He's
then-
just come as the captain.
yeah.
of
So
the Dogs and
it's
he's
one of
inspired
those
them.
three. I think I'm probably leaning towards Harry Grant,
I think Crichton. Crichton will get captain of the year.
Yeah.
but here's one for you: Coach of the Year. Bellamy, Seraldo, or Cleary?
I might give it to Seraldo because of the job he's done and he hasn't been in the frame before. But then Bellamy's won plenty when you thought it should have gone to somebody else.
So we've got the team that finished runaway first, a team that's making its 5th grand final under the same coach, or a bloke who bought a whole team. I'll be disappointed if it doesn't go to Bellamy or Cleary.
Why? I think Seraldo's done a wonderful.
Well, look what
Where did
happened
they
last
finish
week.
last
But
year?
what happened last year?
Hang on.
They gave it to Webster.
Well, yeah. Well, even Webster came in and had the same team. Gus, they've just turned the entire. They've got one player from their top 30 from 2 years ago.
Yep.
One.
Yep.
So?
Like, you just bought a whole new team.
So?
Now they're saying they've got the Roosters accountant because they've got 1.6 million to spend on players. Are you kidding me? Anyway,
All right, we've got Rookie of the Year.
rookie. I'm going to go. We've got Bostock, Iro, or Strange. I really hope it's Ethan Strange. I think he's been really good. He was really good for the Raiders.
But he fell away. Did he get injured the last few weeks of it?
Yeah, I think Bellamy rested him and brought back in.
Stewart, you mean?
Sorry, Stewart. Stewart rested him and brought back in KO Wicks at one point.
Look, I think Kailiro has been in a team that would have shared a lot of votes, but I thought he's had a really good... I mean, if he was off contract, I would want to sign
You
him.
know, if the rules were different, we'd only ever be talking about Galvin.
Oh, 100%.
So, seriously, why should a rookie miss out?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Honestly, he's been 100% better than either of these three.
Hang on, I'll give you another rookie that's missed out for a more ridiculous reason, and that's Atkinson, Daniel, at Cronulla.
What did he miss out for?
Because he played off the bench for Melbourne a couple of years ago, a couple of games.
Yeah. What's the Proven Summons medal given for?
I hate to say this, I can't remember.
So let's give it to the Bunny.
Is that a community
Let's
award?
give it to Munro.
Probably community award. So let's go,
Stephen
Stephen
Crichton.
Let's
Crichton.
go, Munro.
Stephen Crichton.
Oh, come on. The Bunnies have to win something this year.
It's got nothing to do with football. We might as well give it to him.
Is that the sun going down there? We better move on.
Oh, dear. Gentlemen.
Yep.
One game left to play for the whole season.
Saddens
Okay.
my heart.
One game left in the NRL, yes.
Well, that's what we're
That's
talking
the season.
about.
It's another game.
Not really.
Well, well, then that's three because we're also talking about New South Wales and Queensland
Yeah,
playing.
that's right.
Yeah. Anyway, but we're not.
We're not.
Melbourne versus Penrith. Who wins and why?
I don't know. There's not a struck match between them, honestly.
Yeah.
Look, I actually had this this comment with Bradley, who's one of our Penrith fans, and I said, Bradley, I knew you would never hear me say this, but I'm going the Panthers because frankly, I don't like the Storm. I think the Storm probably had a better lead into the grand final, and they may be too strong. But I also think the Panthers had a pretty good, lead in with that game they played last week, and they've done it all before. They know how to do it, and Cleary will just get his magic wand out possibly and just win the game again. So I'm going to Panthers.
Yep.
Not by much, but
I am also going to Panthers, even though it wouldn't surprise me, as you said. And the reason is, I think Storm are really, really good at shutting down the main player from their opposition. They seem to do it. They seem to do it well. And a point was made. So Teddy's been running for 200 plus meters every game for the last 6 weeks against the Storm. 77. They just shut down the danger man.
Yep.
The problem is, if they're shutting down Cleary, you've got Luai. And if they shut down Cleary and Luai, you've got Yo. Melbourne are a great team, but I think that Penrith team just have sprinkles of brilliance in them. And yeah, they'll be 4-time champions. Oh. Hey, but
3-time champions, 4-time champions. What is
but
that?
you know the Panther curse, don't you?
What's that?
Well, the teams that play Penrith in the grand final, they don't make the top 8 the next year.
Right.
It could all be good.
You didn't hear that, Sally.
But that's if they win.
Oh, that's right. That's if they win.
That's right.
And Steve, we don't need to know who you're going to pick, but why are you picking the Storm?
Because
Other than personal favouritism.
no, there's no
I'm
favoritism.
curious.
I'm actually trying to find something here, but I can't find it. So, anyway, I actually think they have a better spine, and I think they are just performing better right now. I think they're the form team of the competition. I think they're going into there with a lot of confidence. I don't think the loss of Nelson is going to be that big a problem for them. I really don't. When I look at the form of the teams, I don't think Penrith were overly impressive last week against the Sharks, but I think Melbourne were absolutely on fire. Now, will they replicate it this week with a much better opposition? Who knows?
And sometimes you can be battle hardening you can actually be a benefit. The week.
Yeah.
So I do have a question. You did say better spine, Paps or Edwards?
Edwards.
Oh, jeez, I can't.
Well, I know.
Seriously, Paps is as good as Edwards.
Munster or Luai?
Oh, Munster. 100%.
Oh.
Let me go back to Paps and Edwards. Edwards gives you a certain job, and that is he's reliable under the high ball, and he runs a lot of metres. That's all they want him to do.
Yes,
Pappenhausen, it doesn't run as many metres as far as I know, and he's very flashy, and if he doesn't get his opportunities, he won't be as effective as Edwards, who will do what he does over and over and over again.
I think Pappenhausen is safer under a high ball, and I think if you give him an inch, he will take 100 miles.
Yeah.
He's got the speed.
Very slowly at the moment because he got run down.
Well, that's my only... And that's why I was asking about
go
that.
back again.
Okay, so Munster Luai.
Munster, 100%.
See, I don't necessarily agree. I would have gone 12 months ago, Munster.
Who do you think they picked for Australia?
Well, because Luai will be playing for Samoa.
Yeah, but who would they pick for Australia?
Because Luai's playing for Samoa.
No, Munster would never... Luai would never come in.
All I'm saying is that when Cleary was out, Luai just stepped up and blew me away.
Yeah.
I thought he was good. He went to the next level.
Okay, keep going. Halfback.
All right. Well, you've got Hughes and Cleary. Good luck.
Yeah.
Go and split those two.
I'd pick Cleary over Hughes in a contest like this.
In a fraction.
It would be tight.
Yeah, well, so's the fullback.
Okay, go hooker.
The hooker we don't want to talk about. I thought Mitch Kenny only cost Penrith the game a couple of times against the Sharks.
See, here's the thing. I think that and that's why I say I think the spine is better. I'm not saying it's a lot better. I'm not saying it's out. I'm just saying it's marginally better. And I think Harry Grant out of dummy half is a better hooker, or better dummy half than what Mitch Kenny.
Well, the other question is who lays a better platform at the beginning of the game? I'd say Leota and Harris.
Yeah,
Harris. I think often that gets the Panthers on the front foot. And I mean, Josh King's a hard worker. They won't have Nelson. Kamikamitha, he's a battering ram.
I like Martin and Yo up against. Yeah,
Yo could be Clive Churchill medalist this year.
I really like
Katoa.
Katoa's a great player.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, there you go. So basically, we're really a bit of splinters here, and we're only going by a couple of points either way.
And I tell you what, the other thing is the wingers.
Oh.
I think the wingers, because they tower over the Penrith wingers, I think...
But if you watch it now, I mean, against the Roosters, we've got two tall wingers.
Yeah.
All they do now is they go up and they tap it back. And they work that out. So
But
you
at least
don't
they
have
tap
to
it
catch
back.
the...
No.
You don't have to catch the ball
Can I
anymore.
just say, I don't care how big you are over Toho, he's still going to hit you.
Yeah, he's...
And can I just say, I thought Taruva, I thought he was nearly man of the match in that first game. He was sensational. He saved tries. He should have scored one.
Yeah.
I thought he was great. So, you know what? I'm not prepared to say the wingers.
All right.
Anyway, what do we know?
So, gentlemen, this is our penultimate show for the year.
It is.
And then we're done. Then we're on sabbatical. Then we're sunning ourselves on the Gold Coast.
Are you?
No, but I
Or
thought...
are you paying for us to do that?
No, I thought you were donating to my...
Is Breakthrough Organics going to take us to the Gold Coast?
No.
Yeah.
Oh. But they're a
Breakthrough
sponsor.
Organics is going to have some new products soon.
But Breakthrough Organics should look after the people who are supporting it.
Yeah, the sponsors.
Breakthrough Organics will have a look at your
Kickbacks.
contract and decide how much you're going to get.
Kickbacks. We want kickbacks.
Yeah, there are no kickbacks.
All right.
Thank you for watching. This is From the Sidelines with Tom, Brian and Steve, and we hope you enjoy the show. We hope you enjoy the grand final.
You haven't asked the usual question.
Because I don't get anything intelligent anyway.
Okay.
Brian, is there anything intelligent you won the show with?
Go Manly.
And I was too scared for what you were going to say.
Pass. Go the Panthers. Okay?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, he actually was very deliberate about
I
that.
said it. Well, I was just trying to be really careful.
Okay.
I didn't say
I'll
storm
tell you what,
again.
I'm going to say something intelligent. Melbourne will win by 14 points.
Wow.
Well, I don't think we'd be near that. I don't even think Penrith will win by 14.
Nathan
my
Cleary
words,
will
just
kick
be
a
an arm wrestle.
2-point field goal to win the game.
Okay. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the grand final. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
So, yeah.
Yeah.